As we move closer to Easter, many of the readings are focused in helping those who are preparing for the reception of the sacraments at the Easter Vigil. And so today we hear a lot about water, specifically thinking about baptism. And in the first reading today from Ezekiel, we hear about how Ezekiel is seeing this vision of the new temple, how it's going to be in glory, and the water flowing out. At first it's only ankle deep, and then it's as deep as a frog. Knee deep, knee deep. Ouch, Father, that was bad. Then waist deep, and then up. So deep he could only cross it by swimming. And then how this water then goes into the sea, and where this water flows, it makes the salt sea fresh, which is exactly the opposite of the way water works nowadays, where when it goes into the sea, that fresh water becomes salty. But it starts by flowing out of the temple. I saw the water flowing out from beneath the threshold of the temple towards the east. And we know that in Jerusalem there was indeed a stream, a river that, probably not a river, but a stream anyways, that was flowing out of the temple. And this was very important because, especially at Passover, they'd have hundreds of thousands of lambs that they were slaughtering as part of that. And they needed to dump that blood somewhere. And so they would dump it into this stream which was below, next to the altar. And so it would flow out of the temple. And so on Passover, as you were walking past the temple, you could see this stream with water flowing with blood there. Does that remind you of anything? Like when Jesus was on the cross and his side was pierced, and John clearly says he saw water and blood flow forth from his side. It's a reminder to us what we heard recently in one of the Gospels, that Jesus says he is the new temple. Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will build it up. But he was talking about the temple of his body. Jesus is that new temple. And from his side flows this water that Ezekiel is talking about. This is the water from which comes refreshment and new life. And these trees that bear fruit every month, let's be honest. I have a black thumb, so most of the plants that I've ever tried to get barely bear any fruit whatsoever. To bear fruit every month, now that's a miracle. It's like trying to make beer out of grapes. That we recognize how God makes this miracle happen out of the side of Christ. And so we are invited all the time, but especially in this Lenten season, we are invited to remember the grace of our baptism. To get into the side of Christ, the pierced side of Christ, and get close to his heart, and allow that blood and water which flows forth from the heart of Jesus to have mercy on us, to wash over us, to draw us into his life. May we let those waters of baptism transform us, renew us, and remind us that we are sons and daughters of God, made new in his likeness.